and turn the world on with a smile. You can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile. Well, it's your girl and you should know it. With each glance and every little movement you show it. Love is all around, don't need to fake it. You can never down, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Jodie Emery Show. Today is Thursday, September 8th, and I have some great news about Marc actually. This morning he graduated in a ceremony in Yazoo City Medium Security Prison, receiving his diploma from the warden along with about 80 other inmates. If you watched some earlier shows, you heard me tell you about Marc having to take his grade 12 equivalent because he never finished high school. He went straight into business and has been very successful since then. But Marc took the courses and he passed the tests and he actually got the top scores. So he's the valedictorian of his graduating class in this prison. And he got to wear a cap and gown, and they had a real ceremony inside the facility because it is an actual educational diploma. Marc is in the top 1% of all graduates in Mississippi, and of course he's a brilliant genius, so that's easy for him to do. And it's also Mississippi, and they're in tie with Alabama for the least educated state in the United States. But Marc is finally a graduate. His mother would have been very proud. She always wanted him to get his grade 12, and now he can say he finally got it. So very happy for him. He's going to send me some photos of him in his cap and gown to share with you when they arrive. And I'm also going to receive a little graduation booklet, which might even have all their names in it, and his diploma and his tassel from his graduation cap that says 2011 on it. So it's pretty funny, but it's also inspiring to show that people can go back and focus on education, and it is a matter of pride for some people. Of course, Marc didn't care to take the course, but he did it and showed them that even a heavy marijuana user can ace the test and beat almost everybody else in an entire U.S. state. So that was great to hear, and Marc is happy to have that over and done with, and he can get back to focusing on his music. I posted a blog by Marc on cannabisculture.com and freemarc.ca where he actually writes about the Freedom Party that he founded long ago, but I'll get back to that near the end of the show. I'd like to show you something that was sent from the prison for me. It's for the upcoming fall and winter season. A little hat and scarf with the letter J, and that's for Jodie. And Marc picked the colors so that he thought that purple and white would look really good with my gray winter coat that I have, my dark gray coat. And it'll be handy if it ever gets cold down in Mississippi when I visit him. I'm not sure if it will, but there certainly were some storms down there, some more hurricane-like weather and flooding, and of course all across America there's a number of natural disasters taking place. Texas is on fire in a big drought, and Eastern there's a lot of flooding, so I wish all the best to anybody who's been impacted by that. Of course, that's the kind of problem beyond our control that the government should have money to respond to and to help people recover from. But as long as they're building massive prisons and hiring more police and sending bombs overseas to kill innocent people, I don't know if there's much of a budget to really help those Americans in need. And of course it is very desperate times in the U.S., but try and stay strong, do what you can to keep busy and keep active in your activism, even as you work hard to maintain your jobs, your families, your homes, and everything else that people have to take care of. So an anniversary of sorts is coming up. On September 10th last year, Marc appeared in a U.S. federal court to plead guilty and accept a 5-year prison sentence, which is what he's facing now and serving now. He was facing 30 years to life in prison, and so of course considering that and considering that we'd like to be together again one day, and he still has a lot more work to do in correcting all the wrongs government does, he has to come home. So a 5-year agreement was something we both wanted to accept when it was offered, and he's got just under 3 years to go. He's actually got 1,034 days left to go. You can see the countdown clock at freemarc.ca. But yeah, it was last year he pled guilty, and we were in that courtroom with Todd Greenberg, the prosecutor, trying his hardest to explain away the DEA press release that explained how Marc was arrested for his political activism. You know, the DEA admitted on the day of Marc's arrest, as you'll see at freemark.ca when you look at the document, that Marc was the leader of a marijuana legalization movement and was targeted because of his legalization activities, because of Cannabis Culture magazine, and because he financed marijuana legalization groups active in the U.S. and Canada. Quote, the U.S. said it was a significant blow to the marijuana legalization movement to arrest Marc. But as our great people and our cannabis culture have shown, taking down a wonderful, brave man like Marc will not stop our resolve to end this unjust war. And in fact, we've seen in the United States tremendous growth in the marijuana legalization movement, in initiatives being introduced, massive rallies, massive events, decrim, all sorts of wonderful stuff going on in America, even though there are bad things happening too. But it goes to show that Marc's seeds and money that he sent throughout the United States really did help to plant the seeds of freedom and overgrow the government. And that's why Marc is still relevant, and that's why I hope you continue to write him, send your support, and especially tell other people about him. Share the videos and movies and documentaries and interviews that he's done. Explain why Marc is someone who wasn't targeted just for seeds, clearly was targeted for political purposes, and is definitely representative of the insanity, the injustice, the grotesque reaches of the war on drugs and how it goes beyond the borders of the United States to try and impact people all over the world, and that's what we're fighting against, of course. I don't have much else to share with you in terms of news, and my shows have been running a bit long lately. I have a lot to share, but I want to let you know that if you're in Vancouver and you're a student pursuing your educational future here in our beautiful city, you're welcome to come down to Marc Emery's Cannabis Culture headquarters, and we have everything on sale for 10% off if you just show us your student ID. Now, I know there's a lot of you who are watching online, and you sure do wish you could come here, I know that, but many of you who also aren't students, and you can take advantage of a sale we'll start having next week. I'll give a code word, and you can go to cannabisculture.com/store and receive a big discount off of everything in store there. I'd like to get everybody all stocked up for the fall and winter and harvest season ahead, so be sure to check out cannabisculture.com/store at least to see what we have and what you may like to get next week when I give you a special offer to get big deals and savings on cannabis culture goods. I encourage you, as always, to go to cannabisculture.com. Our wonderful editor, Jeremiah Vandermeer, has been busy posting lots of material. There's plenty of stuff going on in the world, positive and negative, but nonetheless keeping our issue in the spotlight. So check out cannabisculture.com. For live video streaming, go to pot.tv. Pot.tv was the first video website on the internet to offer marijuana news and videos and information. So Marc and the people behind Pot.tv here in our organization are trying to keep that going by running videos that we've had from long ago. In 2001, I believe, Pot.tv first started. So check out pot.tv, cannabisculture.com, freemark.ca for his mailing address, my videos, and Marc's blogs. And as always, definitely check out twitter.com/Jodie Emery, facebook.com/Jodie Emery, facebook.com/Marc Emery, and facebook.com/Prince of Pot for regular updates. That's where I do a lot of my interacting with people and letting everyone know what's going on. Photos, videos, links, old stuff that people have never heard about, new stuff that's happening. I try and share it all at Facebook. So join us on there, get involved, and try to support the Freedom Party of Ontario. I mentioned that earlier in my show. I'll get back to it now. Marc started, even before I was born, to be honest, the Freedom Party of Ontario. And this was a political party dedicated to freedom, limited government, liberty, justice. And if you've watched the Principle of Pot documentary, you'll see a lot of the work that he did then. And the Freedom Party is back. It's back for the Ontario election coming up, happening on October 6th. And our wonderful friends and co-activists, wonderful community members, Chris Goodwin and his fiancée, Erin Gorman, are working with the amazing Principle of Pot documentary maker, Paul McKeever, to bring the Freedom Party option to people in Ontario. Definitely check out the website freedomparty.on.ca, that's ontario.ca, or just Google Freedom Party and you'll find it. And this September 17th, they're having a Money Bomb fundraiser. For 24 hours, there'll be live streaming video. I'll be visiting Marc, but I hope to tune in via Skype and say hello to everybody. And I'll be contributing to them as well, because in this time of Canada's government going backwards, punitive policies coming into place, really dark, scary days ahead for our culture, our people, and all of the freedom causes and positive, good people of Canada. We have problems ahead. We have some dark times ahead, but that just means we have to organize and support those who are on our side. And in Ontario, you have the option of the Freedom Party. They've got over 60 candidates, and over half of them are cannabis activists, including Marc of Treating Yourself and many other familiar names. So please check out vaporcentral.com or .ca and Freedom Party online to check out when that money bomb is happening. Marc's blog writes about it at cannabisculture.com and freemark.ca right now. So check that out, get all the details, pitch in a couple of bucks towards liberty and freedom, and help Canada's largest province lead the way in getting these ideas out there. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Marc and I always appreciate your support. Be sure that you pass that support along to others as well who need it. Every day there are thousands of people who are facing arrest and imprisonment and turning themselves in, saying goodbye to their wives and children, saying goodbye to their parents, losing their jobs, losing their homes, losing so much because of this insane war on drugs. And that's what we're up against. That's what I'm trying to fight here, and I try and take all your support and turn it around and pass that positivity on forward, because we all need to hold each other up as things get tough. Thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody, and free Marc Emery.